Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly service for Between the Worlds Church. Between the Worlds Wiccan Christian Church is intentionally radically inclusive, and we welcome all persons of any race, color, age, ancestry, sexual or relationship orientation, body size, gender, religion, or any other difference. We respect each other and remember that all of our beliefs are equally valid in the eyes of spirit. We love all deities that are represented in our virtual congregation, and we include Jesus in our spiritual practice, however he may come to us. I'm Reverend Gina Pond, and I welcome you to our midweek online service. And today we will be doing a Eucharist during the service, so if you would like to participate, grab a little something to drink and a little snack, and we will be blessing that towards the end of the service. The only announcements today is that I am still broadcasting to both YouTube and Facebook, so you can see me in either place. Both places have it recorded, so if you missed the YouTube one, you can watch the Facebook one or any other way. But I also post it to our regular webpage at betweentheworlds.church. So if you miss it anywhere else, you'll always find it, a link to a recording of it there. So I think that's all for announcements. Also, we do have a group that is a closed group, and I moderate it pretty heavily so that we don't have people that proselytize. And if you want to discuss what I talk about in the sermon there, or any other topics around progressive Christianity or progressive paganism or any of that, please feel free to pop by and chat. You can also do comments on the blog post as well, or on the YouTube site as well, on the YouTube post as well. So let's call in the elements. Spirits of the east, of air, may we always gain new knowledge and the resources to recognize our truth. Spirits of the south, of fire, may we always call on our passion to drive us and to do the work that Spirit has called us to do. Spirits of the west, of water, may we always remember to acknowledge the feelings of others and find our compassion. Spirits of the north, of earth, may we always remember that no matter who we are part of the earth and that we are made from the earth and will go back to the earth. And spirits of the center, the community which we are, may we always hold each other up through the bad and the good in any way we are called and able to serve. So today I'm going to be calling in Brigid or Breed, depending on how you want to pronounce it. There's different pronunciations. Also St. Brigid, because it's her feast day today as well, and any other spirits of the arts and creativity. So, if you would like to have prayers said for you, or if you have permission from another person to have prayers said for them, you can feel free to post it in the chat room of either Facebook or YouTube. And today I am praying for, usually I'm praying for the US to hopefully find its sanity. I'm also praying for all those who have been hurt and maimed because of their gender or their race. And let's see, we have a prayer. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I gotta open my window here. I'm getting there. Yeah, and Ray is praying for the entire Midwest in the freezing temps, and I am totally with you on that. I'm kind of glad that we don't live in Chicago right now. Yeah, everybody try and stay warm, and if you can help homeless people to find shelter, that would be even better, because a lot of people are going to die in that cold because they have no home. I'm also praying for all the refugees, everybody who's trying to just find a place to live that's safe. So now I will have a moment of silence for any prayers you'd like to say privately, or any prayers that you just want to say out loud in your own space. Spirits of the universe, please hear our prayers. All right. So I don't have a particular reading today, but this coming Saturday is Imbolg in the Wiccan calendar. It's also the feast day of St. Bridget, or Breed, as I mentioned earlier, in the Christian calendar. And it marks more or less the halfway point of winter. And it's usually when the first stirrings of spring appear. So, like, if you're usually, except for the Midwest at the moment, usually it's when, you get crocuses coming up and like all those winter blooming plants. When I lived in California, it was when there's some, I don't remember the name of the plant particularly, but there was some really fragrant plant in February that just bloomed everywhere and it smelled incredible. And I always looked for that when I was living in California. And it's also kind of usually that time where where folks are, especially those who in the cold climates, are kind of getting sick and a little stir crazy of winter, and like ready for the longer days of summer and ready for spring, and would rather like go home when it's light outside. But the funny thing is, at least on the Wiccan side of the street, Imbolg seems to be kind of a forgotten holiday. Like, a lot of Wiccans seem to just kind of breeze by Imbolg without really doing much for it. It's kind of as if this holiday on the wheel of the year doesn't really count for much for some reason. I don't know why. It just is. But personally, it's one of my favorites because for me, it's kind of the informal holiday. And it's kind of like that post-Christmas kind of decompression kind of holiday, and you celebrate the arts and you have good food with people and all that stuff. And also, from what I understand of Breed, she was the goddess of hearth and home, and also poetry, stories, the forge, and other arts. So Imbolg is supposed to be a time where you get together with friends and family and do those kind of things. You tell stories, share art, have good food, and just kind of be together to kind of help each other through that post-holiday slog and that long slog of this part of the winter. But I can bet that some of you are going to be saying now, but I don't know how to write a story, or I don't know how to tell a story, or I can't write a poem, or I don't know how to do art. Huh? Or more likely, well, I do an art, but it really sucks and nobody's going to like it. I can see that with the pouting. And I say, so what? Do it anyway. Because art is what humans have developed over many thousands of years to express things that they can't express in other ways, especially emotions. Art is what we as humans had even before the written word. It helped us communicate when we didn't really have much language to use. And art can do many things. It can clear your minds. It can help people get into meditative states. It can relieve stress. It can bring people closer together. So I say again, do it anyway. And if all you can draw is a stick figure cartoon and that makes you happy, little talk bubbles, then do it. I mean, if you crochet amazing blankets for your friends as a way to control your depression or anxiety, go for it. If you write poems, make pots, sketch, paint, make computer animations, create cosplay costumes, photograph sunsets, or do any other art because you want to do it and it makes you feel like a whole person, then do it. I give you permission right here, right now, to create wonderful and weird art. I give you permission to try new things just because you think it might be a fun thing to try. I give you permission to create and enjoy it and not worry if it's good or not. It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be good for you and bring you comfort and happiness. There's a general assumption, particularly in the US, that art is only for like a select group of people, and that art is a worthless pastime, and that by doing some sort of art, you are wasting your time somehow, especially if you can't make a living from it, or that you have to take classes to do it exactly right, or like in a lot of groups the art becomes a competition instead of being something people enjoy and have fun doing. And instead of just enjoying art for art's sakes, it can become a beauty contest at the whim of a few people who decide what art is acceptable and what it's not. But I say what I say to that kind of attitude is, do your art anyway. If you want to take classes for a thing, hey, go for it. Sometimes you need to kind of take a class to kind of jumpstart your mind thinking about that art. But with the internet, you can also learn how to do a lot of that in the comfort of your own home. YouTube is a great place to learn about art. And if you want to show your art, go for it too. I mean, hey, you do you, right? But you also don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can keep it at home. You can give it away. You can do what you like with it. Do what you want because you want to do it. And some people may not like your art, and that's on them. Not everybody will appreciate your art or get it, and that's okay too. Do it anyway. And it may seem weird to some of you that I'm encouraging you to create and do art, but really, art and religion aren't divorced from one another. Most of the art we think of when we think of classical art is religious art. I mean, you got the Sistine Chapel, the picture where, God is pointing fingers. A lot of the art that we consider classical art is about religion. And humans have been doing this art to describe and honor deity for a very, very long time. And sometimes that art is the only way we really have to express our beliefs or our feelings about God or about faith, forgiveness, or compassion. We don't really have any other good ways to describe that sometimes. And also, I think art helps us figure out our soul in relation to deity. I mean, there have been times where my writing just didn't work for me when I was going through some spiritual stuff. And even poetry, like I write poetry as well. Even my poetry wasn't working for me. Like having to do word descriptions of what I was feeling just didn't work. So I bought a large pad of paper and some crayons, and somehow just the images came out of my very imperfect drawing and helped me to figure things out. And they weren't what some would consider fine art. It's more of my scribblings on with crayon, right? But it was art that helped me to learn and grow and express my feelings around these spiritual concepts. I've even combined arts when one art wasn't enough. So, like after the 2016 election, when I was really feeling depressed and low and just wondering what the heck was going to happen, I did drawings again, but I also combined the drawings with words to express my anger and frustration. And it helped me get through the depression around that. And it helped me get through that initial grief around that. And so, it helps. So do it anyway. So honor Breed this week and make some art. Any kind of art, doesn't matter what. And I don't think she'll mind if you think it's good or not. She'll just be happy that you did it because she too wants us to do it anyway. So let us pray. Breed, both goddess and saint, help us to find art that makes us happy and whole in body and spirit. Let us not worry about what others might think of the art we make, but let us seek to express the things that can't be said, and let us create and feel and learn about ourselves in the process. Amen, and so mote it be. So do it anyway. Do it anyway. Okay, so you have your little snack in hand. I have a cracker today. And your drink in hand. Take your bread in one hand, your drink in the other, and repeat after me. Blessed be this bread, fruit of field and grain, the body of earth and of sacred sacrifice. Blessed be this drink made from the lifeblood of the earth, through which all life was born. May this sacred meal nourish me so I can nourish and care for others. So, in closing, thank you to Bree and all the other deities of the arts. Thank you to the spirits of earth, water, fire, and air. And thank you to all of you who have joined me today. May you go in peace and blessed be. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week and stay warm. Thank you.